between decimals and rational numbers. A decimal can be written as a fraction whose denominator is a power of 10. How? Read the number and write the number you have read and then reduce. For example, 0.6 is read as 6/10. So let's write that exactly how it sounds, which is a fraction, 6/10. Then we just have to reduce it. So let's simplify by the greatest common factor, which would be 2. And then we get 3/5. So let's take a look at these examples. 0.15, how do we say this? We say this as 15 hundredths because the 5 is in the hundredths place value. So 15 hundredths, which could be simplified to 3/20. Next one, 0.8. 8/10 is how you would say it. The 8 is in the tenths spot. Then we simplify to get 4/5. 0.125. 125 thousandths. The 5 is in the thousandths spot. And then that gets simplified to 1/8. Now let's take a look when we have negatives. So negative 1.45. Now the way I would say this is negative 1 and 45 hundredths. Then we have to simplify. The greatest common factor here would be 5. Divide both the top and the bottom. We get negative 1 and 9/20. Next one, negative 6.4. The way you would say this is negative 6 and 4/10. If we simplify, we want to divide both the top and bottom by 2, and we get negative 6 and 2/5. Okay. What happens if the decimal is a repeating decimal? 0.3 repeating is not read as 3/10. When changing a repeating decimal into a fraction, the repeating decimal becomes the numerator, and the denominator is a group of 9s. The number of 9s in the denominator is determined by the number of digits that repeat. Let's take a look at a few examples. For example, negative 3.6 repeating. So I'm going to keep that whole number negative 3, and then I have only one number that's repeating. So there's only going to be one 9 in my denominator, and that repeating number is my numerator. So negative 3 and 6/9. I'm going to simplify it by dividing both the top and bottom by 3, and that's simplified to negative 3 and 2/3. Let's take a look at the next one. Negative 5.24 repeating. Now if you notice here, we have 2 and 4 both being repeated. That's 2 digits, which means my denominator is going to have 2 9s. So negative 5 and 24/99. Simplify that, divide both the top and bottom by 3, and we get negative 3 and 8/33.